Hey there, my pharmacy and healthcare friends. Today, rather than talking specifically about health content writing, I wanted to take a couple of steps back and address something that I think is important to think about internally before you even decide to pursue medical writing or health content writing if you are a health professional who's been interested in either of those paths. So, for context, my name is Megan. I'm a public health pharmacist. I've worked as a health content writer, health communication specialist, medical writer for the past several years, more than 10 years at this point. And one thing that I've learned in that time is there are a lot of healthcare professionals who are interested in learning more about medical writing, what that entails, how to get into it, how to find jobs, how to find freelancing opportunities. But I think that there are sometimes folks who want to go down this path. I'm rolling up my sleeves because we're about to get into it. People who want to go down this path for, I won't say the wrong reasons, but maybe reasons that are not strong enough. If this is something that you are wanting to pursue seriously. So, what I want to talk about today is a piece of advice, right? A piece of advice that I want to share with you all. And that piece of advice is to stop trying to run away from whatever your current position is. So, whether that's pharmacy or nursing or medicine or public health or whatever it is, stop trying to run away from it and instead spend your energy running towards something. I'll explain a little bit about what I mean. So, when I say running away, I talk to a lot of pharmacists who, like, especially post COVID, it was already a problem pre COVID, but as you all know, it's a huge problem post COVID, but are just frankly burnt out. Like, you are over it. You are tired of it, might be the community setting, it might be the hospital setting, it might be corporate, it might be the politics, it might be the patients. I feel like it's not as often the patients, it's usually the other people who are involved, but that burnout is real. And when you have been stuck in an environment that feels unhealthy, that feels like it is not in your best interest, that feels like there isn't a lot of room for growth, that feels like everybody is against you and makes it hard to do the job that you really want to do, which is patient care. When you are in that environment and when you've been stuck in that type of environment for so long, it can be really difficult to stay positive, to think about other opportunities in a logical way because there's so much emotion that comes along with just being and existing in that environment every day. So I totally acknowledge that it can be hard to not feel that desperation and that intense desire to escape this setting that is very stressful and possibly toxic and just not good for your overall health, whether physical or mental or emotional or spiritual or all of the above. All of that taken into account, what is also important to take into account is that other types of roles come with their own stuff, right? It's easy for the grass to look greener on the other side. And in no way am I saying that any type of medical writing is as stressful or potentially toxic as some of these clinical or community healthcare pharmacy spaces, because that would not be true for me to say that. So I'm not trying to compare the two, but what I am trying to say is that there is a whole there is a whole world of medical writing that you probably don't know very much about. And so because of that, it can be easy to kind of have on these rose colored glasses and think, oh my gosh, that sounds so cool, I want to do that. And most importantly, this is how I can get out of pharmacy, this is how I can get out of community, this is how I can get out of hospital, this is how I can get out of direct patient care. Yes, it is an avenue that you can pursue, leveraging the experience and the skill sets and the knowledge that you have, but it is not this like crystal ball where you snap your fingers and then you're there and you can do it and everything is perfect. It's not like that. And it actually requires a lot of dedication and passion and true interest for you to be successful. I'll say specifically if you are hoping to transition into freelance health content writing. And the reason for that is because um, when you are an employee, right, you pretty much know that regardless of whether you go to work or not, whether you do your job at work or not, you're going to get paid on your schedule. So whether that's bi-weekly or every month or every week or however you get paid, your check is going to come in regardless of whether or not you are really giving your all. When it comes to freelancing, it takes effort to continue to put yourself out there and get new clients and produce the content that you are being hired to produce and be in the creative mode to be able to write what you need to write and do all the things. And I think that because sometimes healthcare professionals who are interested in freelance health content writing don't actually have a clear idea of what everything entails, that it can be difficult to understand why it's so important to have that inner passion and that inner motivation in order to successfully pursue freelance health content writing. It's not something that I recommend for people to go into just because they want the extra income. Yes, the extra income is great. Yes, you can replace a portion of your pharmacist salary or your healthcare provider salary through freelance health content writing. And that's a wonderful perk. Yes, you can use it to pay off student debt. Yes, you can use it to build your savings. Yes, you can use it to pursue other professional development opportunities you might be interested in. And also, it takes a lot of time to build up the knowledge and the skills and the experience that you need to be able to even get to that point. And so you really have to have that internal passion, or maybe not passion. Passion is a strong word that people kind of throw around loosely, but you have to have a strong interest in patient education, in making sure that people are able to get the health information they need, in fighting health misinformation, in educating the masses. That is something that I find when I look back at students who have come through the Health Professionals to Health Writers program. That is a common thread in the students who are most successful, is they didn't come into the program just because they wanted to build an extra stream of income. That was one thing. That's one thing that they wanted to do. But they also had this passion for health education, and they knew that freelance health content writing was one of the best ways for them to uh, uh, develop that passion and use it to build something that could help them um, create a professional trajectory that they were more proud of and more fulfilled by, and that they had more growth within. So this is a part of the reason why my advice is to stop running from your pharmacy job, stop trying to escape your pharmacy job, and really think about what you want to run towards. Is it freelance health content writing so that you can utilize that patient education passion that you have? Or is it something else? Is there another interest that you have? Is there another skill set that you want to develop? Remember, it doesn't always need to be like a degree or a certification. We've talked about this in previous videos. I think that as healthcare professionals, we are too strung out, not strung out. We are too attached to the letters behind our names and to the certifications and the degrees. Sometimes that might be necessary for whatever you're trying to run towards, but a lot of times it's not. A lot of times we need to focus more on developing a skill set rather than pursuing another degree or pursuing another certification. So what are you running towards? And if you are running towards something, right, that allows you to take more ownership over your career trajectory, over your pharmacy journey, over your nursing journey, only over your dentist journey. Whatever your specific journey is, when you have a goal in mind and you are actively pursuing that goal, that puts you in the driver's seat. Whereas if you are running from something, if you're running from your current predicament, that you are not in a position of strength when you are trying to escape. And so if you are in the driver's seat, you have control and autonomy over the direction that you're going in. If you're being led by fear, if you're being led by exhaustion, if you're being led by exasperation, if you're being led by stress, you are not in control. Those emotions are in control and you are just reacting to them. And when we are reacting to those emotions, sometimes we put ourselves in spaces that are not the most positive or not where we're supposed to be because we're making decisions based on that negative emotion and that stress. Whereas if we can flip that and think about what our goal is that we are running towards, that puts you in a position where you're able to proactively pursue something. And by being proactive about it, you have a better chance of ensuring that you're going in the right direction. So that's pretty much what I came here to say. I'm not going to keep repeating this over and over. I think that is pretty clear why it's important for you to think about running towards and not so much about trying to escape or running from, and the benefits that could come along with that. I'm going to close out by saying discover what you love, right? Health content writing is not easy. So I love to bring people into the fold. I love to bring fellow healthcare professionals into the health content writing fold because I think that more of us need to be health communicators. A lot of us got into healthcare to begin with because we wanted to help patients not only get the health care that they needed, but also get the health information that they needed. And as healthcare providers, we are uniquely positioned to be able to provide that information. And health content writing is one of the best ways to get that information to patients. So I love to bring people into the fold, and I'm not trying to scare anyone off, but I think it is really important that for interested parties, for interested people, for interested healthcare professionals, that you make sure that you're not just going into this health content writing direction because you want to make some extra money, because that's a good motivator, but it is not the only motivator. And I don't think that it is a strong enough motivator to get you through the steps that you will need to get through in order to get to that point. So I'm gonna leave it there. If you have any questions, thoughts, concerns, feel free to drop them in the comments. Feel free to shoot me a message. If you are interested in joining the wait list for the Health Professionals to Health Writers program, please, you can leave a comment with the word waitlist, or you can DM me the word waitlist. Enrollment for the September cohort closed long ago. That cohort is full. We're about to get started. I'm so excited. The next one will start in January, and enrollment has not opened yet, but folks who are on the wait list always get the first opportunity to apply and enroll if they are accepted. So drop a comment with the word waitlist if you're interested in joining the waitlist. Otherwise, if you have comments, questions, feedback, follow-up thoughts, feel free to leave those in the comments as well. And